Any of these guys, Black Rifle Coffee,
oh man,
Jocko Willink, these guys that train with their that train with their guns. Who's that guy? The MMA fighter, Tim Kennedy, Timothy Fred Kennedy. That's his name. This guy is a true. All these guys, because we're under attack right now, and none of these guys would ever do anything. So,
and I'm at the point now where I don't think I fought for the country. I fought for some politician's view on something. And I remember one dude in particular that I killed, and like I shot his buddy, and then I came through his room. I killed him in front of his wife in a bedroom because he went for a gun. And I think about him now, and it's like, all right, why did I kill that guy? Well, because he.
Sometimes I remember, oh yeah, that's right, I went to Iraq. Now that I have a kid, sometimes I find myself thinking, is he going to end up going to some war that ends up not doing any good for the world and receive a bunch of shitty care afterwards? I don't know how to explain the war to myself, and have yet to have any clear thought of like, yes, we actually made a difference there, because we didn't at all. There was no difference fucking made. Maybe for the worse.
We hit houses with the wrong address. And then we'd have to apologize because we just kicked your door in, or we just blew your door in, or we just damaged your house at 3 o'clock in the morning. I still hear it, and the psychological side of it now, I still carry it. He's protecting his house, he gets punched in the face, put on his damn back, ends up in Abu Ghraib, and he's never going to get that time back. So I think about that.
I don't feel like I'm defending my country anymore, and that kind of sucks. And that's the whole purpose when you're a kid to join the Army. A lot of people feel it's like, defend your country, but we're not defending our country anymore. I know we haven't defended our country in a while, but
I didn't agree with the Iraq War when I went in. I went in for Afghanistan. I joined to go fight in the mountains. I wanted to fight the Taliban. Unfortunately, once you join, you have no politics. Your property. You go where they send you.
Freedom fighters, coming back at you with another episode of Truck Talk. And today's video is going to be sponsored by, or not sponsored by, but inspired by your local Chinese carryout. Because I got a fortune cookie the other day that said you're making an impact on others, or you're going to make an impact on others. So, that gave me the inspiration to come back out and make another video. Because honestly, I really wasn't feeling like it. But, anyway, the topic today is going to be Veterans Day. Because it is Veterans Day. And we're going to be talking about the military, or the state of our military. Maybe how things changed because Orange Man took office, or our veterans. And, we've talked about this before. I made a video, but not my military, or not my veterans, before, but I guess I wanted to expand on it further, and we've talked, like I said, about how the military's gone woke, and the tyrannical vets and stuff like that, and how vets in itself, just being a vet in itself doesn't mean anything to me. That doesn't earn you, goodie points and a badge of honor. And, I've said before, Hunter Biden is a vet. Pete Buttigieg is a vet. Tim Walz is a vet. And I saw, countless ads during, this political season of, different congressmen and senators and all these people running for office who are vets. And they're running on a campaign of taking the guns away. Of taking away your freedoms. So these people aren't your friends, and just because, they have the veteran title, doesn't mean anything. And then, we've talked before about these, Tim Kennedys, and I don't even know, what you call them, these door-kicking, order followers, tyrants. I guess that's what you call it, is tyrants. And he admits it. He admits it before. He's done interviews where he's like, I'm addicted, it becomes an adrenaline rush to them. That's what it's all about. He said, oh yeah, man, I love it. He's like, I love the violence and all this stuff. But, they'll never actually do anything truly patriotic. They'll never, well, I mean, that's, I guess that's, what you see as patriotic, I guess, is, to each his own. But, I remember seeing this one, podcast or this one clip where this, I think it was a Sam Hyde clip where he called out Tim Kennedy on purpose, and all these muscle-bound, G.I. Joe type veterans who do their videos, or these gun channels, these vet gun channels that are out there, showing you all the stuff and doing the training. They're like, oh yeah, we're operators, and, this and that, Jocko Willink, and, these kind of figurehead people. They're pushed in the mainstream for a reason, but they'll never actually fight the tyranny. They're order followers. They act on behalf of the deep state. They act on behalf of the people that, we despise. The globalists and stuff. You have to realize the military is a occupied force. The whole country, right? The military, the 3-letter agencies, there's no honor anymore, and saying oh, I hold, the badge of an FBI agent, or I work proudly as a CIA or NSA agent. What? None of these are honorable positions anymore, and you're not working in favor and on behalf of the United States of America and we the people. You're not working on behalf of the citizens. And, he said, we are under attack right now. We have these tens of millions of illegals crossing the border. You have all this stuff happening, criminals running loose, tyrants doing all this stuff, yet the Tim Kennedys of the world aren't going to do a damn thing. But guarantee you, if you ever decided you had to, and you ever did something to defy tyranny, those same vets would be out there door kicking your door in. They'll be the real patriots. They'll be hunting the real patriots down. They'll be hunting you down. They'll give Tim Kennedy the opportunity. He'll giggle with glee. I remember, I think it was the guy in New Jersey that they raided his house over J6. And, he was a veteran. Hell, Ashley Babbitt, R.I.P., was a veteran. But they were hunting veterans down for J6. And I think it was the guy in New Jersey. He, ran out his back door and ran into the woods and, went on, a chase for a couple weeks or something. I think he ended up turning himself in. But then they were talking about the police force, that was attached to his detail or whatever doing the raid was full of veterans as well. So you got vets coming after vets. And you have to choose, whose side are you on? And then you got, there was another case down in Texas. I remember this veteran who, he used to do a lot of open carry videos and stuff like that. And I can't remember that guy's name, man. It's a shame. I haven't seen that case in a while, but he ended up throwing a package of bacon at a mosque and got charged for a felony hate crime. So yeah, now he's a felon and he can't own firearms. And he's one of your, beloved veterans, And if he said, screw this. That's unconstitutional. You cannot take my arms. I fought for this country, and he defied it it would be the Tim Kennedys and stuff like that on the police force that would come disarm him and ultimately kill him for his disobedience. You know, so that's what it comes down to. And people are starting, you know, to wake up to it. You know, Reed Hendricks has mentioned before, you know, he said he won't train cops, you know, that are door kickers. I don't know how he, you know, decides which ones are and which aren't, because they pretty much, you know, eventually all down to the end of the day, you know, until they're faced with that moment, you don't know what they're going to do. You know, Yeager said that back in the day as well. He's like, you know, a lot of these police are just following orders. You know, you got a lot of these people in the military. There's a channel called Jameson Travels. And he has that guy has a couple channels. One I think maybe is like Viking or Nordic something, or I can't even remember, but Jameson Travel for sure does some woke videos, you know, on the military and stuff like that. And he said, you know, how he reported on the Air Force saying, you know, we have to hire less white pilots and stuff like that in the military. And, you know, I watched some foosball this weekend. Yeah, I know. I buckled and watched that, and I saw, you know, all them praising the vets, and I saw all these vet commercials coming on. And, you know, it's funny how they got all the white men in the commercials again, and they're, you know, people were talking about that a couple months back. Like, when the World War III stuff started heating up, they're like, you know, oh, well, we kind of got to get these, you know, patriotic white Americans, you know, back into the fray here. And, you know, I just don't understand, you know, how these people, you know, fall for it. But, like, you know, and I saw a video, what was it? I saw a video a while back of, or no, it wasn't a video, it was like an interview of this guy, young guy, during the hurricane, Milton or Helene or something like that, who was denied services because he was carrying his firearm. And he's like, I'm in training, in Navy SEAL training. And he was like, you know, I'm joining the military and all that. And I'm like, man, like, what are you doing joining the military right now, man? Like, people are still falling, you know, for this stuff, and I don't understand it. And, you know, I saw a good documentary one time. It was by one of these rags, too. I think it was done by Vice, or, you know, it was like New York Times, I think. Or maybe WAPO or something, but it was like one of these leftist things. But they actually did a really good interview or documentary. I'll post that below and try to get some clips and stuff for that. But and it had these vets like questioning, like, I think it was called "I Still Don't Know Why We Went to War" or something like that, or "I Can't Explain the War to Myself," I think is what it was called. And you know, these people were questioning, like, what they did. This one guy was like, yeah, man, I was a door kicker, and, you know, I busted down this guy's door and punched him in the face, and he was going for an AK, and then he's like, I realize now, like, well, what would you do? Right? Like, someone busts down your door, you're the man, you're the man of the house, and, you know, you got to take care of your family. Yeah, you're going for the AK. And he said they found out a lot of times, like, it was the wrong address. These people had nothing to do with it. But, you know, and then they would send them off to, you know, a prison camp or something because they're suspected terrorists. And they were like, they're never getting that time back with their family. And, you know, they probably lost their job and, you know, unable to take care of their family. They're their breadwinner. And they're going to hold that resentment. And you wonder why, you know, they hate us, right? I saw a meme one time, too, that was like, you know, I wonder why they hate us. And I can't remember what it had on it, but it was like, you know, like a block destroyed from missiles or something. But, yeah, I saw another meme one time, too. I'm going to see if I can find this one, but it was, it said, we all grew up wanting to be Luke Skywalker, you know, only to become a stormtrooper, a faceless, nameless rifleman fighting on behalf of the empire. And that's basically what it is, man. If you're joining the military now, I know you think it's going to be like some great, big old thing. You're becoming the stormtrooper. You're literally fighting for the empire. And, I saw Risky Crispy, Crispy back in the day. He posted a meme. Was like, I was once willing, to give my life for my country. Today, I would give my life, to protect my family, from what the country has become. And, that's what it came down to. In one of his videos, he was like, I have the flag, tattooed on my body. He's like, I'm as patriotic as they come. But, I'm not letting my kids join this. They're not going to fight, in Ukraine. They're not going to, go become these, fighters for this corrupt system. It's like that song, Mama, don't let your kids grow up to be cowboys. And like, don't let your kids sign up to be a defender of this system. Yeah, and it's like, I understand, some people don't understand that, because back in the day, it was actually viewed as honorable, when I feel like a lot of people were asleep, though. They thought they were still defending the country. They thought they were defending their communities. That's clearly not the case anymore. And big-time influencers have caught on to this. I mean, like DC Drano, which was like big behind Trump's campaign and all this stuff, was like a real anti-war guy. And he posted something one time like, nobody's dying for NATO. No one wants to die for NATO. Tom McDonald, in one of his songs or something too, I remember he said, vets were telling them that they can't believe they fought, for a government that hated them. And I just can't believe, how many vets there are that are like still in love with their service. And, sometimes I talk to them, and, the people who listen to me understand, right? And that one video I did about the vets, there was vets in that comment section that, were like, I understand what you mean, but, and when I talk to some of them, it almost comes down to, it's just the brotherhood, it's like being part of the team where, it's like a football team, like, if you're part of the Miami Dolphins or whatever, you're proud to share that. You're like, I'm a Dolphin, and, even when you retire, like they say, there's never such thing as, was a Marine. You're always a Marine. So, they like it for that. But, once they wake up to like, what did I really fight for? What did I really do? And, none of it was, for the country. And you have to see that, you were duped into it. I mean, your freedoms, I've said it over and over, they're not at stake. They're not, from a fight from the Middle East or some foreign country. They're right here. They're not, imagine dying in the meat grinder in Ukraine, or for China or whatever it is. The people, taking away your rights and stuff are right within this country. And we're pretty much taken over by BlackRock and, all these companies and they're all woke and all this stuff. You remember there was that one guy, the black Antifa guy that was like dressed up as a Trump supporter in J6, who actually became a war correspondent in Ukraine. And I think he was in like a BlackRock commercial or something. The Trump guy that was up on the roof was also in a BlackRock commercial and stuff. But yeah, man, don't sign up for these, and I saw something on Russell Brand channel too, where he was like, resist the draft and all this stuff. And people are figuring it out, man. Like, you're signing up for, I don't think people know, and if you're the adult and your kids are like, yeah, I'm patriotic, and now it's changing. It's going on a whole nother level, because people think, because Trump's in office again, it's going to be a patriotic military. it's run by patriots now and he's going to change stuff. This is how they fool you. You know how they say, like, a fool and his money. But getting separated from your money is completely different than getting separated from your life on behalf of a foreign corporation. Because that's what we are. We are no longer a country. These people aren't operating in good faith. And you're going to be fooled into joining the military and dying, for, a cause that probably isn't what you're going in there for. And I mean, I'm never gonna fight for this country, at least in the form of uniform and badge, right? I will fight for this country, but I won't fight for this country. There's your tongue twister. Or it's not really a tongue twister, but your mind bender. It should be on a t-shirt. I will never fight for this country, but I will fight for this country. In other ways, your First Amendment, use that. And if it comes down to the Second Amendment, I mean, I won't wear the uniform, the badge or whatever and fight on behalf of these corrupt people. But you better believe if it ever comes down to Red Dawn and there's planes and paratroopers coming out the sky or whatever, oh yeah, then I'll fight for this country. Because it'll be real and in your face that, okay, it's happening. They're trying to take over land. There are, attacks on our soil, for sure. Then I'm all in for it. But, man, yeah, I mean, let me know what you guys think. Maybe we'll expand on this, at some point. But till the next one, you know what it always is, man. We are on our own. Nobody's coming to save us. So get right with God. Because only God can save you. Freedom Fighters out.